we look at different marketing research design. We're going to look at 3 different types of research design. We're going to look at these in a little bit more in depth. The first type is exploratory design, second type is descriptive design, and the third type is going to be causal. First, we look at exploratory research. The emphasis is to gain ideas and or insights. And so a lot of times you'll hear exploratory research referred to as qualitative research. And so generally when we talk about research, we really divide research into 2 different areas of qualitative and quantitative. Descriptive research is going to be more quantitative in nature. Exploratory is going to be more qualitative. And really the way that you can really identify the 2 is by looking at the words themselves. When we look at the word qualitative, as when exploratory research, look at the prefix of quality. And so we are not necessarily looking for a lot of people to participate, but we're looking for a quality of response. Now, quantitative is when we're trying to get as many people to participate as possible, and that's when we do things like surveys. But on qualitative research, getting a lot of people isn't necessarily what we're looking for. We're looking for depth of response. And so we have to understand what exploratory research is and what it isn't. When we look at what it isn't, it's not meant to solve the overall problem. Since we're dealing with smaller numbers, it's kind of meant to provide insight on individual actions, not necessarily opinions or actions of the entire population. Now, because of that, it's going to involve a relatively small group of people that we are going to be researching, and that creates another situation that it's hard for us to get a sample size as representative of the entire population since we're dealing with such a small group of people. And so when we look at the different types of exploratory research, you could do a literature search and really identify everything that's been researched on the specific topic. After you might do a literature search, you might do what we call a depth interview. And what a depth interview is going to be is you actually going out as the researcher and interviewing people who have written or researched on this topic, just to pick their brain a little bit to get more in-depth information. One of the most commonly used terms in exploratory research is the idea of focus groups, and sometimes overused and misused. What a focus group is going to be is 8 to 12 people that are gathering with a moderator, and you are asking them open-ended questions. Since it's hard for you to get these people together, you want to make sure you're getting them talking as much as you possibly can. So the job of the moderator is not necessarily to be writing down what people are saying. We videotape that, and we audio tape it, and so we go back and write and tabulate that information later. The job of the moderator is to keep conversation going and to elicit the responses or conversation about specific topics that you're looking for. One of the focus groups that I worked on, we were investigating customer service at a chain of grocery stores. And so we brought in customers for the focus group, and my job as the moderator was to keep people talking. And so initially, you generally get 8 or 12 people together in a room, just like first day of class. People aren't comfortable with everybody, so you got to kind of get them to participate. And the interesting thing was once we got people to really start talking about, hey, what one person say, I had a bad experience with a bagger. Then you pull up someone else, hey, Tom, have you ever had an issue with a bagger? Oh, yeah, I had a bagger who put watermelon over my eggs. Anyone else have a similar situation? And so then people will start to jump on. And my job as the moderator was not worried about what people were saying, but to get them to interact with each other and get them to really get to the heart of the matter of what we were trying to find out. Another way you can look, another tool used in exploratory research is case analysis. And this is looking at maybe similar problems that other companies and how did they solve those problems, and looking at it from that angle. Benchmarking, maybe you want to compare yourself to the industry leader, and so you might compare yourself to your competitor. How will you meet their specific standards? And so you look at, here are our benchmarks. There's something we're going to shoot for. This is where we're currently at. Where are our gaps or our deficiencies? And then the idea of ethnography. Now that is almost kind of where we get into this idea of anthropology or cultural studies in marketing. And what that does is allows us to observe people in their regular environment. How are they interacting with the product or service? Think about children's toys. It's hard to do market research on children's toys, especially if you're dealing with infants, because they don't talk. And so the way that we research that is really we fill a room full of toys and we see which toys the children are going to go to, which toys are they spending more time with, what parts of the toys do we feel that they're responding to. And so that is completely an observation mode where we're just watching people interact with them. Welcome to the video lecture series 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the video lecture series on marketing research. In this session, we will talk about exploratory research.